In this screencast, we're going to look at the layout of the interview feature inside. So if I just scroll back up to the top of my document, this is where we left off. We have identified our main interview feature on the front page. You've still got to fill out the rest of the front page on yours with all the other blurbs and the date line and barcode and anything else that's furniture on the page. And then after that, we're going to go on to our inside feature, which in my case is about Mary Berry's favourite alcohol-based desserts. And I've got a very basic start to the page here. So I've got two pictures which haven't been resized yet, a headline box and a stand first box. So I need to lay this page out to make it look like a feature, to get ready to put my copy into it. So the first thing I need to do is resize my pictures. So I'm going to do that quickly by clicking on the picture, going up here to fill frame proportionately, and then using my arrows or my mouse while I'm on that hand tool, moving the picture down so it's in the right place. I want Mary Berry in it completely, and I want all the cakes in it too, because that's what the feature is about. And then I'm going to go over to this other picture of a cake, which is a vertical picture. While I'm on the hand tool, I'm going to go up, fill frame proportionately. It has fit the frame, but I've still got quite a bit of space at the top here and at the sides, so I would like to make this a bit bigger. So I'm going to, while I'm on the hand tool, Control and greater than key to take it up manually bit by bit, and then use my arrows or my mouse to move the picture up in the box to get rid of any excess space. Okay, so Control greater than or less than key and use the arrows or your mouse to reposition. And there's my pictures now, a vertical picture of a cake and a horizontal main picture of Mary Berry. When you're laying out your double page spreads, or if you've got more pictures, yours may go on for more than 2 pages. Lots of publications have features that go on for 4, sometimes 6 pages even, depending on the publication. But you need a lot of pictures for that. So it all depends on how many pictures you have. I'm just going to do a double page spread here for demonstration purposes. So when you're on your double page spread, you need to remember you need a main picture. In this case, my main picture is Mary Berry and her cakes. This cake here is also a prominent picture, but really in terms of size, and the first thing the reader will see on the page really is Mary Berry and her cakes. So I'm going to leave Mary Berry in that position on the page, and I'm going to leave that one there because it sits nicely next to a headline and a stand first underneath. Underneath this, on this left hand page, I'm going to put my text. My copy is all going to go in here, and it's going to come underneath Mary Berry as well. It's going to go across both pages, and I may have another little picture inset into it here. But for now, I want to get the basic, before I put the text on, I want to get the basic page layout done. So I've got my main picture, I've got a secondary picture, I've got a headline, I've got a stand first, and I've got a space up here which I want to use to fill with some sort of fact box or sidebar or case study if it's appropriate. It all depends on the content of your feature. I'm going to put a box up here with the 10 best kinds of alcohol to use in desserts. So I'm going to draw a box up here first. I'm going to go to my left hand tool menu, and underneath the picture box there's a rectangle box with no cross in the middle. If you click that and just draw like you do with your picture box, just draw a box up there, you can see that I have got a plain box with a border on it, because if I click my W, you can see it there, with a border on it that I'm going to use to fill with another little sidebar fact about this story. In this case, 10 kinds of alcohol that you can use in desserts. So that's what's going to go in that box. So I need a little headline to go in this box to tell the reader what it is. So once I have my box in place, I can change the border size by going back into stroke on the right hand panel here. Again, stroke is in window if you don't see it in the right hand panel, and stroke is where I change the border size So it's in the weight bit up here. So if I press 2, 3, 4, you can see the border gets really a lot bigger. I'm going to leave it at a 2-point border. And I can change the colour of that border by going into swatches and making sure at this area here that the border box overlaps on top. That means that's the element I'm working with, if that's on top. And then I can change that to whatever colour I like. I can change it to a dark blue that we had on the front page, or if I want a different colour for this page, I can change it to a red. There's plenty of options. You can change your colours too. Another thing you can do, if anyone is interested, is you can take the colours that are in a picture and use them for other borders and letters on the page, so it all kind of matches in. So if I go on this picture here, see this chocolate cake one, if I go to my left hand tool panel, and you'll see a little, it's like a little pipette, it's called the color theme tool. If you click on that and then click on your picture, you will see that it brings you up the colours that are in that picture. So those 5 colours are all in that picture. And if I just click on this box here, it will add it to my swatches like that. So now if I go to my swatches, there it is there, colourful theme. You can give them names if you want. And if I expand that, those colours are all there ready for me to use. So I need to come off my pipette tool, and now I've put these in here, these colours. So if I go back on my box that I'm creating and click on it, I might decide to give it a border that's from a colour that's already on this page. So I might decide to give it that red there. And then I might decide to make it a bit bigger so you can see it. And then to see what all that looks like, if I press W, I can think, oh yeah, that's nice, that red, I like that. It blends in with the page. I could have gone into this picture of Mary Berry and taken the blue out of it. There's lots of possibilities for things like that, but colour theme tool, the pipette on the left hand side, is a quick and easy way to access the colours in a picture and use them for other furniture on the page. So I've got my box here. I need a little headline in it to tell the reader what it's going to be about. So I go to my left hand tool panel, back on the T, draw a text box, top 10 tipples to use in your dinner party desserts. It's too small, that, so I'm just going to zoom in using my magnifying glass, and back on my T tool, Control A, highlight all the copy. I'm going to make it 24, 26. I'm going to 25 point. I'm going to make it. Then I'm going to change the font to something a bit narrower, a bit more impact. I'm going to go with Arial Narrow, and I'm going to change underneath the font, the type of font it is. You can also have different regular, bold, italic. If that font has it available, Arial Narrow does. I'm going to change it to bold, and I'm going to push it up to 26 points. So that's my little headline for that box. I'm just going to close the box up. So underneath this, I want some text telling the reader what the top 10 tipples are, and a few little pictures, just little pictures around the edges of the desserts that they go in. So I'm going to go back to my left hand tool panel, draw a picture box like that, just a little one, and I want to give it a little border because it doesn't have one. So I'm going to go to stroke, and I'm going to give it a half-point border. If you go to your drop-down menu, you could get increments under 1 point. So I'm going to give it a half-point border. I'm going to go back to swatches, and I'm going to give it that red that we had in the colourful themes that we imported. Okay, so then if I go on W, you can see I've got a little picture box inset here. So I want more than one of these because I want them to go around the box. So I'm going to go to Edit and Duplicate, and as you can see, it pulls another it duplicates that picture box with the border I've put on it. Edit, duplicate. This works for any object on the InDesign page that you just want to duplicate. So if you set up a picture box with a certain kind of border and color, you can just duplicate it rather than having to do it every time. Here's another one. 4. 5. I don't have to have 10 picture boxes. It's not, I definitely don't have to have 10. It's just, I want some enough to make it a bit interesting looking. Okay. Okay, that might be enough. I think I'm going to run the text in this space here and down this leg here like that. And I might need to give all of these boxes captions as well so that we know what dessert they are, or I might just direct the reader to it in the copy because that's a lot of captions on the page then and a bit messy looking. So I'm not going to do that. But that's where my text is going to go, in this space here, in and around those boxes. My text is going to say what the top 10 tipples are and what desserts they go in, and I'm going to have 5 little pictures of desserts that match it there. So if I just Control 0, I can zoom out. I can see that that's the layout of my page, and my text is going to go in these bits here. My text of my actual feature is going to go underneath all of this here, and it's going to go on this, run onto the second page underneath Mary Berry. I'm also going to need a caption for underneath Mary Berry and a caption for underneath this dessert here. So we will do that in the next screencast when we do text formatting.